watched a movie today.
Called Escape from New York.
And this movie was rated R.
Yes, came out in 1981, 40 years ago.
July 10th, 1981.
Oh, very close, very close. Yeah, directed by John Carpenter, starring Kurt Russell, Adrienne Barberou's in it, Harry Dean Stanton's in it, Ernest Borgnine, and I can squeeze one more in there. Who else is in this movie? Oh God, so
Mermaid Man.
yeah, Ernest Borgnine. But I think his name is Michael Doubleday, who played the really creepy dude with the big hair that was all back, and he was always like this.
Oh, that was that guy?
Yeah. So this movie's about the president is on Air Force One and it gets hijacked, and they're like, okay, we're gonna fly into New York City, which is now a prison island.
Yeah.
It's all walled off, right?
Yeah.
Police make sure no one leaves. If you try to leave, what happens?
If you try to leave, they kill you.
Oh yeah, shoot a missile right down your raft. But so they send in Snake Plissken, who's this prisoner. This like everyone knows him. He's like this famous prisoner who gets sent in to rescue the president after his Air Force One crashes in New York City, and his escape pod lands there. So I will say this is a hugely famous movie. I've heard about it my entire life. I've heard references to it. I've seen the sequel to this movie, Escape from LA, when I was a lot younger. I saw that one. And I will say, this movie is a lot slower than I would have anticipated for it being hailed as one of the best like action movies ever.
Yeah.
Slow. It's a slow movie. It's not bad. The thing is, it was made 40 years ago, so you have to expect that it's going to be a different type of movie. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad movie. It's like I said, it's a lot slower than I thought it would be. It's definitely a product of its time. I will say that. There's a lot of like remember that near the end the guy has the cell phone and the cell phone's this. And it's pretty funny that. And the way the helicopters, their like radar was like it looked like a computer program. It was looking down all green lines everywhere. So it's a very early '80s movie. It's definitely, like I said, product of its time. But who are some of your favorite characters in the movie?
Well, my favorite character was Snake Plissken.
Yeah, cool ass guy, cool eye patch, everything about him was cool.
That was cool.
I do like the cab driver. Who plays Mermaid Man? Ernest?
Yeah, Ernest.
I thought I liked him a lot. His character was cool. And like, ended up saving the day with the tape, you know what I mean? Where he's like, yeah. Because that one guy's like, where's the tape? He goes, I don't know. He's like, where'd you get that hat? He goes, traded it. And they ended up trading the cab driver the hat for the tape, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And also a downer ending where like at the end of the movie you think like, oh good, the president's saved. Spoiler alert. They have
spoiler alert.
They're gonna play the tape and make sure everything saved the world. It's like, no, Snake didn't give him the tape because he said he remembered at the end. He goes, a lot of people died to save you. How do you feel about that? And he's like, kind of like brushing it off. He's like, oh yeah, well, this country owes them a great deal of gratitude. Like, bro. And he's like, oh, I'm on camera in 2.5 minutes, so. Doesn't even say thank you or anything.
No.
He just walks away and he's like, well, that's why I gave you the shitty tape. That's what you get. Things we liked. What did you like about it?
Well, I liked like we said, the product of the times. The World Trade Centers were in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're actually a big part of the movie.
Yeah, they were a big part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked that they gave New York City, like, if it became a prison, like, island, they gave it a lot of character. Like, one of the first parts of the movie is they go in the World Trade Center, and there's this play being held out, like a bunch of weird prisoners, some weird play they're doing, and people just show up to watch the show. Like, all these prisoners on this island, and once you're on the island, you never get off. You are there for life. So, it's cool seeing this community, and there's the crazies, they call them, that come out of the sewers once a month, because they run out of food, which is creepy.
Yeah, that is creepy.
Yeah, there are a couple creepy things in this movie. Like I said, that one guy with his hair's blown back. The first guy we see on the island who says, like, you have 30 seconds or else the president dies, you have to leave. And he's just like 29, 28, 27. So I liked that character. It was really cool. Well, I learned passed away in 2018.
Right.
Rest in peace. Yeah. And his daughter is Portia Doubleday, who was on Mr. Robot. Fun little fact. But things we didn't like. Uh-oh.
I mean, I didn't really like it because it was too actiony for me without it.
Really? Those were too actiony. There was a good deal of action.
Yeah.
Isaac Hayes is also in this movie. Isaac Hayes. He plays the Duke.
And of course, I just wanted to mention that we watched this during a thunderstorm, rainstorm.
Kind of perfect, yeah.
So
that affected the movie for you, I bet.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like, I will say that for it being, it's not the movie's fault really at all. It's been built up to me all these years as like the quintessential action movie, like the coolest movie ever made, and all this stuff. Which I know it's like, who said that? I'm like, you're right, but it's been built up a lot for me. Where everyone's like, this movie you have to see. And now that I've seen it, I'll be honest, I probably would not watch it again. And I'm glad I saw it just to be like, hey, like I said, I guarantee if I saw this in 1981, I would have been blown away.
Yeah,
This movie is awesome. Again, though, I've been spoiled by movies from now until, which I can appreciate the movie for what it was in its time and for what it is now. Like I said, I don't dislike it. It's just a movie I probably wouldn't watch again. But I will say this. We were almost going to watch Assault on Precinct 13, which is the same director.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to catch that one and see if, because the guy that made this movie, you know what else he made? Halloween with Michael Myers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know he made that.
So yeah, I think that was maybe his first or second movie. So like he's most I don't want to say he's known as a horror guy, but yeah, no, because he's done a lot of different stuff. You ever seen the movie Big Trouble in Little China?
No, I've never seen that.
Have you ever heard of it or no?
No.
No, it's another really famous movie that I've never seen. But anyway, yeah, so rating, I'm gonna give it I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. From 5 to 10, 7.5 I'll do.
I would recommend. I would recommend this movie to anybody who likes scary movies and
I'd
stuff.
say Kurt Russell fans. Definitely recommend to Kurt Russell fans and fans of like gritty movies, because this movie is a really dark, dirty movie.
Yeah.
So I think, you know what I mean? Like even the parts that take place in the daytime are dark. Remember, actually, it was sunup and it was daytime for a portion of the movie.
Yeah.
Still looked like night to me.
It still looks like night.
Still looks like night. It's crazy. Yeah. So what would you give it 5 to 10?
I'd give this movie probably a 5.5 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'll get that. But this is the thing, folks. Next week you gotta be here. Because next week we are gonna review 330 Hitman and in auto Firebomb, which to me is like, what a long time you could have shortened that. Right?
Yeah, right.
But we'll see you next time, folks.
So yeah, I'm gonna go get some soda now. I don't know if you want any, but
I'll take some Reese's Pieces, please. What did they say? 7 days?
14 days.
After your second shot?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I don't know what I just did.
And that's what Rocky looks like at the end of it.